I've give it a second and then you can go.
Well, welcome everyone. It is 5:04 p.m. and I call this special meeting of the Board of Education to order. Mrs. Patron, you could call the roll, please.
Ms. Clementi?
I'm here.
Mr. Farrell?
Here.
Judge Mays?
Here.
Mr. Voss?
Here.
Dr. Wright?
Here.
Superintendent Macaluso, do you have any corrections?
Judge Mays?
Here.
Mr. Voss?
Here.
Dr. Wright?
Here.
Superintendent Macaluso, do you have any corrections or modifications to the agenda?
Thank you, President Voss. At this time, there are no corrections or modifications to the agenda.
Then I move that we adopt the agenda as presented.
Second.
I'll call for the vote, please.
Ms. Clementi?
Aye.
Mr. Farrell?
Aye.
Judge Mays?
Aye.
Mr. Voss?
Aye.
Dr. Wright?
Aye.
Next up, we have 8.0 special resolutions. Superintendent Macaluso.
Thank you, President Voss. At this time, we'd like to present the supplemental budget and appropriations resolution for fiscal year 2019-2020. Mr. Horner?
Good evening. So with the federal money that's been coming in, the CARES funds and the ESSERS funds, we need to have you accept it. And then there was also some food service funds that came in related to all of our COVID. And we're also asking for a little more authority appropriations within the bond fund because we're spending the funds slightly faster than we anticipated, and we want to make sure we can pay our bills. So that's why we're requesting this meeting.
So at this time, I would suggest that Mr. Sprouse, if you could share your screen and present the resolution for viewing. Can everybody see the resolution that's on the screen? So,
Yeah.
so we would ask that the board consider approval of this resolution and appropriations.
I move.
And I will.
Go ahead.
I move that we approve the supplemental budget and adopt the appropriation resolution for fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2019 and ending June 30th, 2020 as presented in today's board materials, and that we dispense of reading of the resolution verbatim.
Second.
I'll call for the vote, please.
Ms. Clementi?
Aye.
Mr. Farrell?
Aye.
Judge Mays?
I intend to vote aye on this, but before I do that, if I could ask a question, please, Mr. Horner, you talked about the bonds, the bond funds and some funds coming quicker than we anticipated. Is it something that we were unaware of, or it's just a bookkeeping thing at this point in time?
Am I okay to answer the question?
Absolutely.
Just bookkeeping. We didn't guess enough appropriations, so we just needed to add a little bit more to it.
In other words, we're okay.
Everything is fine. It's
Okay.
just an internal bookkeeping to allow us to spend the money that we already have.
Okay, thank you. I vote aye.
Mr. Voss?
Aye.
Dr. Wright?
Aye.
Next up, we have the consent agenda. Are there any items that anyone would like to be removed to be voted on separately? Then I move that we approve the consent agenda items 2 through 5 as presented.
Second.
I'll call for the vote, please.
May I ask a question before you vote?
Sure.
I am wondering whether the CARES and the purchase of the technology, the iPads and the Chromebook purchases, it will expend the majority of the CARES funds for the coronavirus.
Can I provide the answer?
Sure.
Actually, because of the rules in the CARES Act, we have to spend funds that we had budgeted in 1920 for purchase of computers or for salaries also, but that's not in this request, before we can access CARES funds. So we are going to barely, if we get into the CARES funds at all with this, but CDE is continuing to try to provide us better guidance on that. So that's why I'm including both of them. So we want to spend the CARES funds and not capital, but we have to follow their rules, and it will not anywhere near spend the CARES funds.
Thank you very much. That answers my question.
I'll call for the
Clementi?
vote, please.
Ms. Clementi?
Aye.
Mr. Farrell?
Aye.
Judge Mays?
Aye.
Mr. Voss?
Aye.
Dr. Wright?
Aye.
Well, thank you, everyone. There being no further